I was home alone one night, and I had been up doing the things one does at 11 p.m. on a Saturday night when your ADD is absolutely everywhere. Playing Call of Duty, writing, listening to music, and texting everyone as if they don't sleep either. I like keeping the lights off because I find comfort in the darkness. I open my bedroom door and peer into the darkness as my eyes adjust from staring at a bright screen to looking into the dark because I hear talking. I live in an apartment building, and voices in the breezeway are quite common. However, this is not the hour for whispering outside people's doors. Then, I notice a tall, dark figure walking from my kitchen to the living room. I catch a glint of light from my TV reflecting off its eyes. So what do I do but decide to approach it? I'm not sure what I planned on doing when I got face to face with it. I walk down the hall, and it disappears around the corner. I round the corner and find the living room empty. I never was one for believing in paranormal things, despite the many encounters with what I've been told were spirits and demons, etc. The next morning, I texted my girlfriend at the time, and she was thrilled to tell me about superstitions and supernatural things. Apparently, many of the things I do are supposedly invitations for spirits into my home. I've done these things for years and have had encounters for years. However, I've always just assumed it's because I don't sleep, which is why I'm not afraid of following demons in my house. She said that staring at myself in the mirror and whistling at home by myself, which I often do, will invite them in. So she could be right. Or I might be dealing with schizophrenia, like the rest of my family. I'm a 12-year-old female who can see things that others cannot. I am the strangest child in my family, but my parents leave it be. I've always wondered about the boy from this door who has been watching me. I moved from Colorado to Slippery Rock last year in June-July. My room is connected to my sister's room and above my parents' room. There's always been this creepy attic door on the roof of my closet. I always leave one side of the closet door open so it doesn't break when I open the closet. My parents bought this house and never saw the door in the house photos when they bought it. The owners never mentioned it either. The creepy part is that they said they only had one attic door, and that door is in my sister's room. I've always had the question, should I check it out or leave it so I don't upset the boy who watches me from that creepy attic door while I sleep? The creepy part about the boy is that he seems alive but is dead. This is real, and most people never believe me.
It all started before my grandma passed away last year. After her death, it got worse and worse until this day. My mother called me last year in the evening. At that time, I was on the bus on the way home. Anyway, she was crying, asking where I was because my grandma was dying. I told her to go to the hospital without me because it still takes until I'm home. So I went home and was about 7:30 in the evening at home and alone. Until then, everything was still normal. I locked the front door, took a shower, made myself something to eat, and finally went to my room and turned on the TV. Around 10 o'clock in the evening, I heard our front door open and the voices of my parents. You must know my room is upstairs. So I went down the stairs a few steps and looked across the grounds to the front door. I called my parents but got no answer. I went all the way down and stood there in the hallway. I looked over to the living room. No light. Nothing. I went to open the front door only to find it was still locked, just as I left it. From then on, I felt a bit queasy in my stomach and wrote to my mother asking when she would be coming home again. Her answer was only that it could still be hours. I was worried, went to the kitchen, took the biggest knife we had, and went through every room in the whole house. Nothing. So I called a friend of mine and told her about it while I went back up to my room. She just said that I probably imagined it and it has happened to her many times. So I lay down in my bed and was on my cell phone. Not even an hour later, I heard a kitchen cabinet slam shut. I felt my heart start to race, and I became shaky. I just sat there on my bed, still with the knife in my hand, staring at my closed bedroom door. But it did not stop. I heard footsteps, strong, slow footsteps going up the stairs. After that, nothing again. Silence. I reached for my cell phone to write to my mother that they should please hurry because something was going on in the house. I heard someone arriving in the hallway right in front of my room door. I heard the creaking of the floor. It stopped right in front of my door. And now comes what I will never forget. I heard a loud male clearing his throat. I felt myself start to cry. I was so damn scared for my life. I went to my door to look through the keyhole, but I saw nothing. I pulled the door open, ready to fight back, but there was nothing. From that point, I grabbed my cell phone and a front door key and ran as fast as I could out of the house, as far as I could, until I arrived at a bank that was completely lit up. I called my best friend and stayed sitting there until my parents arrived home. The next day I told them everything that happened. My mother said that maybe it was my grandmother who looked after me at home while she was soon clinically dead in the hospital and saw that I was not present there. But to this day, I doubt it. This throat clearing was 100% male and not from my grandma. From then on, such incidents happened more often in our house. My father gets it most often. Most of the time, when he takes me and my sister to the train station and my mother is already at work early in the morning, he hears the cabinets slamming shut in our kitchen or in the living room as if something were toppling over. There was also an incident when I was riding my scooter to a friend's house. I came home in the evening, put the scooter in the basement, and went upstairs to the house. My mom asked me when I left the house. Sis looked a little scared and confused. I said I had left around mid-morning. My dad came over, looked at me, and just said,
Michelle, your mother cut my hair in the upstairs bathroom after you left. Your sister was also upstairs. We thought you had just come home 2 hours ago. The basement door opened and slammed shut again.
I shook my head, having arrived home just 5 minutes ago. To this day, things like this still happen often, and I really hope it doesn't get worse. The last time something like this happened was just a week ago. And this time it was in my room, while I was not at home.